So we filled the you filled all the moulds. What's the plan now?
Filled all these up. Now we're going to turn them. The great thing about this is that you can turn them all in one go instead of turn them all individually.
Right. So what's turning do?
It's all about just making sure that the cheeses don't sort of end up like that, you know, with a wide bottom and a thin top. If you turn them, it just gives them a better shape when they're formed.
How many times do you have to turn them?
5 times probably before I go home.
Oh, okay.
So that's the beauty of having this. It's just going to be done in a second. So I'll move this out of here just so it doesn't go everywhere on the floor. And we'll just turn it in the main room.
Turn, baby, turn. Go build some big muscles up pushing this, didn't it? What was that weigh? Fair weight, I would have thought.
Probably a couple hundred kilos.
Yeah. It's very sterile and hygienic in here, isn't it? I'm impressed.
It's got a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Take a look out and then.
Right. Whoa. Whoa. Didn't expect that. So that's one turn. How long will you leave that there for?
By the time I've done the next one, it'll be time to do this one. So
let's have a look at that again in slow motion. So you've been busy filling those cheese moulds, and how many have you done today?
Well, we've got about 700 out of that batch today, so that's really good. That's from like 950 litres worth of milk.
And
so
well, remind me again, was that a hard cheese, soft cheese?
Soft cheese, yeah, that's the Isle of Wight Blue, and we've got the Isle of Wight Blue that we made yesterday.
Wow. So how long does it have to be stored before you can sell it?
We wrap it when it's about 2 weeks of age.
Wow, look at this.
So these ones that you're seeing here, these are the ones from yesterday. So these are on day 2.
Right.
And then the ones
so
back there.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of little holes in them.
Yeah, we introduced.
What's that?
Well, we pierced the cheeses with these with like metal prongs to enable the air to get inside. That's how the mould will grow inside the cheese. So these blue cheeses have got a natural blue rind on them, but they've also got the blue veins inside. So that mould needs air in order to grow. So we've got a little machine which will punch holes into it. That's what that is.
So that's yesterday's, is it?
Yeah, yes.
So what we saw in that mould you were squishing in, this is so that shrinks down a lot, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You lose almost more than double down overnight.
Gosh, yeah. And that's yesterday's, and this is.
That was 2 days ago.
And how long were these staying here for then?
These stayed here for 4 days at a room temperature, just to sort of like hold them up really until.
Yeah, because it's not really cold in here, is it?
Yeah.
What sort of temperature are you putting them down to?
It depends, between sort of 16 and 24, depending on how I want them to be.
And that's so the mould will grow on them, which is what you want, unlike some cheeses.
Yeah, you're wanting like the yeasts to develop at this stage, which are not really visible on the rind, but they'll certainly help the moulds to grow. So yeah, you put the yeasts on in this room really.
Really nice to see it actually, isn't it? In the raw, as it were. So could you eat that like that now, or would that just be still not a lot of flavour to it?
It would taste acidic at this stage. It would be quite bitter, like beyond yoghurt.
Right, okay, so it's sort of gone off yoghurt almost.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very nice at this stage. What happens is the cheeses are acidic at this stage, but then as the mould begins to grow, it will head up back towards neutral, so that's when they become a bit more palatable. At this stage, they're just too acidic.
Right. And what have we got next door? Let's shut this door, shall I?
Yeah.
Ooh. And this is
the next stage.
Oh wow,
so
look at
the cheeses
this.
come when they're...
Can I go in there? Is that alright?
Absolutely. This is where the cheeses are after they've
Goodness
come
me.
out of that room. So
oh, you're getting a real smell of
the mould.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Isle of Wight Blue. These are the Isle of Wight Blues. So these are the ones from last week. So you can see how the little holes inside.
Wow, that doesn't take long, does it?
Yeah. So you're on like another week ahead of the ones that we just saw next door.
I love blue cheese actually. So what have we got? Have we got different stages of development?
These are the same cheeses, but they're just the mould begins like quite blue.
So it starts on this one, does it?
These ones are the oldest ones. So so this is the mould at a younger stage.
Right.
So
okay.
You'll get like a little frosting, and then you'll start to see a bit of the white mould will grow on it.
And then it's really going it.
And then the white mould sort of like turns like a turquoise, and that's kind of how our cheeses end up, like turquoisey.
It's really interesting to see, isn't it? God, you've got a lot of cheese in here, haven't you?
Yeah, down in the end there is the white rinded cheese that we make as well. So
what's a white rinded cheese?
It's like a camembert, like a brie.
Oh, okay.
So you've got like the white rind on it, and which is a white mould compared to like the blue mould that you see on here. So yeah, these ones I make them a little bit softer.
Yeah.
So the texture's a little bit different. But yeah, these ones were made on Monday, and we're now on Thursday. So yeah, we're
As a cheeseman, then I can ask you, if you were going to choose one of your cheeses, which one would you choose as your favourite? Or do you like them all?
I like them all.
You like them all?
Yeah, they're all as good as each other. Of course.
You're like your children, aren't they? These all these
right.
cheeses.
And they are, because I tell you what,
a lot of love's gone into these.
Compared to children, because like how you look after them in their infancy, like in their young, in the beginning of their lives, at the beginning of a cheese life is this formative time. So if you kind of mishandle your cheese when it's 1, 2, 3, 4 days old, down the line you end up with something that perhaps isn't edible. So it's the same with kids, you know.
I know about that.
You know?
That's really a good way of putting it. Brilliant.
Because at the end of the day, they're alive, you know.
Yeah, they are.
I always say that they're not Mars bars, you know. They're alive. They change.
They're a handmade product, aren't they?
Yeah, and if you don't, and they're full of bacteria and yeast and enzymes, and they're constantly changing. So if you don't look after them, if you keep them warm, for example, then they're going to deteriorate quicker, and you're going to create all sorts of different sort of things.
So how long were these being here now then? You sort of, they were in there for how long?
4 days next
4 days in here.
And then they'll be in here for like another sort of like 9-10 days before we wrap them.
And then you wrap them. And do you wrap them by hand or
everything by hand?
Right.
So we can be wrapping up to 2,000, 3,000 cheeses on the day.
Crikey.
On a Monday when we've got 5 of us in wrapping.
That's a long day wrapping, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But the thing is, we don't like try and just make it a wrapping day. You know, we talk about our weekend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Play games from the radio.
No, that's fun.
We have a lot of banter. And we try and make it a fun experience. And by doing that, you know, the day tends to fly. You know? We might be stood for 7-8 hours wrapping all the cheeses, but it kind of goes in, I think, just a couple of hours. Doesn't really feel like it.
Fantastic. Can we see the finished product then? Is that in, how many fridges have we got here? Loads.
Finished product down the other end.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This down here, we've got the, these are the brine taps. When we make the cheese, we have to put the cheese into brine.
Right. Really? Why do you put them in brine?
Salt's like a really important ingredient, so it stops the acidity from overdeveloping. If you want to make a soft cheese, in any cheese, you know, you might not want too much acidity developed. So the salt will prevent that acidity from overdeveloping. But it's also massively important for the flavour. Cheese without salt isn't good. Yeah. And for the mould to grow as well, the Roquefort and the Wight Camden moulds, they require salt too. So it's there for those 3 reasons really.
Brilliant. More to it than I thought.
Yeah, and like the brine is like incredibly salty. You know, these tanks that we have here hold 900 litres of water, but 250 kilos of salt. Wow. I mean, so you know the big bags of salt that we have down there. There's 10 of those bags in there. There's 10 of those bags in the tank. I mean, you know. That's very salty. You wouldn't want to drink that. No, you wouldn't. And you were worried about putting the salt in the cheese that you made. Yeah. You know, it's actually you do need like big quantities of salt. But when you're using brine, obviously, you have a massively saturated brine solution, and then therefore you only need to dunk your cheeses in for a short period of time. You don't have to sort of submerge them in for days or weeks or anything like that. So.
Right. Oh, one more turn here.
One more turn.
Turn, baby, turn. Come on. Look at that. Brilliant.
Not so much weight coming off at this stage, it's already come off really, but still important.
When are you going to take those out of there and put them in the racks?
They'll come out tomorrow morning.
Right, so and then they'll go in that chiller we've just seen.
Yeah, they'll solidify slowly overnight.
I can see, yeah.
So you can see already they've already dropped down quite a bit in height.
I can think, they've dropped down a lot, haven't they? You can see the line on the mould. That's surprising, isn't it? Yeah. We're into this is the final stage, is it? Where you wrap them and then
the cheeses have been wrapped and come into our finished product store. But as you can see, there's not very much.
Blimey, it's all not a lot in here. Can I have a look inside?
Yeah, go in. This is where we're at when we pick out on a delivery day in the summer. So if you'd have been here yesterday, this room would have been full. Our vans went out today to cover the island with the deliveries, and so pretty much as you can see, both sides, like we have the white cheese on the right hand side, we have the blue cheese on the left hand side, and there's absolutely nothing left in stock.
So what have we got in here? Can we have a look? Can you show me a cheese?
Yeah, sure.
What have you got? Oh, here we go. That's what it looks like, your logo. So if you're in the shops, you need to look for that one. Yeah. Original soft blue cheese.
That's the one.
And that's wrapped.
We wrap it.
And it's hand wrapped by yourself.
We do. We put a little.
Oh, you got a little cow logo. I like that.
It just says.
From the cows we saw earlier.
It just says that the rind is going to have a lot of blue mold in it, so it's intended to sort of help.
It's normal, yeah.
Not to freak out when they see it.
And this is the finished product. To me, that's fine, you know. Some people would be thinking, what's that? But my wife would be like, oh, I don't know about that. Whereas to me, that was just like, oh, add some flavour.
Absolutely.
You eat it with the rind on it.
Of course, yeah. It's the same mould that grows inside, so that's the thing that people look for when they buy a blue vein cheese. So it always surprises me when some people don't want to see that on the rind. It's entirely natural. It's going to grow on the cheese.
Exactly.
So I mean, these ones, where they were wrapped this week, these are pretty young. These are pretty firm.
Yeah.
And we sell them in the summertime. Very young, like as soon as we wrap them, we're pretty much selling them with a long shelf life.
So they ripen and get soft, a bit like a camembert or something like that, where it's actually longer you leave it, the more gooey it gets. And
that's it. And at this stage, they'll ripen. The proteins have all been broken down at the warm temperatures, so we're now like relying on the cold temperatures to break down the fats. So it doesn't really matter if it happens in my 4-degree store or in the shop's 4-degree store.
Yeah.
So it's actually important that we kind of get them out with a long shelf life for the shops. That's what they kind of want.
Yeah.
The difficult thing is though, if they go out young with a long shelf life and they've only just been wrapped, they're quite firm. So if people choose to eat them there and then, like straight away, if they take them straight off the shelf and buy them and eat them that day, they might be a little bit too young.
They've got a different eating experience, that's it. You know, it depends what you like, doesn't it? You see, I like, when I buy Stilton, I like Stilton to the point where it's actually past the sell-by date, and it's gotten really gooey. But a lot of people like it younger than that, don't they?
They do. We put a little ripening guide on the back of the packet, which just sort of like says, you know, when you first open it, if it's young and fresh, it's going to be.
Oh, I see. They're just there. Well, I can focus on that, but I can see what you mean. Yeah.
So it's mainly to try and help when people open them up, and if they're perhaps too old or too young, then there's a little bit of information which helps them understand why. But yeah, we kind of encourage our chefs as well when they buy the cheeses to have their own sort of store in their own fridge so that they can ripen them themselves, because there's no point us selling chefs cheese that's just been wrapped, because if they're going to put it on their cheese board, it needs to kind of be ready.
Yeah.
So they can hold their own stock.
So you can have a different blue cheese experience from an old one or a young one, really, can't you? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're, like I said earlier, like they're always changing because they're full of enzymes, full of bacteria. They're full of mold, and all those things combined with temperature. You know, if you warm those sort of things up, then you're going to end up with them like, you know, they're going to change. So they're alive cheeses.
Brilliant.
Everyone needs to remember that.
Well, you've got another soft cheese here, so Isle of Wight soft cheese.
Yeah, this is the white rinded one that we saw in the room at the back on the right hand side, which didn't have any mold on it yet. This is the one that has the white rind to it. Yeah, it's like a camembert brie, and it's really good. It's really popular. We sell about as many of those as we do of the blue, to be honest. And we sell them all over the island. We sell them across the south.
Little cow loo.
Yeah, so
I was going to say, where can you buy your cheeses from?
Yeah, all over the island to start with. Like we sell direct into shops and restaurants and places like that. Butcher shops. We don't sell to supermarkets, but we sell to the Southern Co-op. They're really good with us. And they also, Southern Co-op also takes us throughout Hampshire as well. But we also sell to a couple of distributors on the mainland, so they'll distribute it around the south. So pretty much between sort of Bristol and London, south of that line.
I'll be looking for you, because I'm not near Bristol.
That's it. So.
And you've got a website as well, haven't you?
Yeah, isleofwhitecheese.co.uk. And on there you'll find all the information about cheeses and also a little bit about our story, and also some links to online retailers as well.
Oh, brilliant.
We don't sell ourselves online, but there are a couple of places, there's more than that now, I think there's a handful who actually sell the cheese for us online. It's always difficult because I think it's about the postage and keeping it chilled and next day delivery. It adds a lot of cost to it, which...
Well, if people are on holiday in the Isle of Wight, certainly, I tell you what, this is probably the best souvenir you can take home. In my book, it is. Thank you very much, Richard. I really appreciate you showing me around. It's been brilliant, thanks. Okay, so well, that was me at the Isle of Wight Cheese Company farm, and I'm here now with their cheeses. I'm back home in England. Well, it's in England on the Isle of Wight, but I'm back home in Gloucestershire now, and I'm going to try a little bit of their cheese. I'm having it for breakfast, which isn't probably the best thing, but you know, why not? So let's see what it's like. This is the blue cheese. Probably not to everyone's taste. I imagine blue cheeses are quite strong. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. It doesn't smell strong. It hasn't got a strong smell. Oh, so you can see there a kind of vein through it, which I really like. Oh, that is lovely. That is really nice. I mean, ideally have it with some biscuits or something, but it's quite soft and creamy. And considering I'm having it for breakfast, that is lovely. Well, I have to stop there for a second because the battery went flat on the camcorder, so I just have to take it away and charge it up. But in the meantime, I did actually eat a bit more of that blue cheese. But I'm going to try their other cheese that they gave me, which is the creamy soft one. Got a cow logo. I think they're just about to change their branding, so this might be out of date by the time you see this video. So let's try this one as well. This is probably a bit like a camembert or brie, I imagine, if you're going to compare it with anything. That's what it looks like inside. I'll try this one. I don't know which one I prefer. So there you go. So there's no mould on that one. It's not a blue cheese or anything. Got quite a strong flavour. A full flavour, I'd say. I'm not a kind of connoisseur on food, so I can't give you a kind of notes on what the flavour is, I suppose, but it's got quite a distinctive taste. It's really nice. I mean, I happen to like these sort of cheeses anyway, but that is well worth having. And so here I am with the kind of just finishing up really with I've got the Isle of Wight cheese and the milk from Bridlesford Farm, which I both visited on the Isle of Wight. I think the one thing I kind of came across that I felt when I visited both these farms is that how lovely it is that it's small people trying their best at producing something. You know, if you buy from these people, you know, not just from the Isle of Wight, but from little farmers markets or something, you are actually putting the money back in those people's hands that have created something and spent a long time doing it. Because I got to speak to these people, you know, on and off camera, and the one thing that came across was how much work and effort they put into their products and how much passion they've got actually. You know, a lot of the time you when you buy something, you see the finished product and you think, oh, just pick it up, maybe it's a bit expensive compared with something from the supermarket. But what you've got with that is that they put a lot of their effort into it, and you can't get economy scale on small farms or small business, so it is going to be a little bit more money than probably where you buy it cheap in the supermarket. But it shouldn't all be about price, because the work that's gone into that and the milk and everything is considerable. So all I can say is, I'm going to keep eating this cheese in a minute, is do support these little people when you can, really, if you can afford it, because, you know, that's what makes Britain great, I think. Anyway, I'm going to eat some more cheese, and I'll leave you guys to it.